What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well, and today we're going to be looking at top 5 best weapons to use for mouse and keyboard, and let's get right into it. So first up, we got the VST and the AK-27, and the VST is probably one of my favorite guns in the whole game right now because it just slaps and it has no recoil. This is the build right here. Muzzle, I do use the LTI brake, and this is because this increases the fire rate by 4%, as you guys can see. You guys can see that right there. So it increases the RPM by like 40. So if we go in the firing range right now, you can see this shit kills fast and has no recoil. I mainly just use these two dummies right here because 25 meters. Nobody's using an SMG for 50 meters, but here we go. Still slaps at 50 meters. And this gun overall has very good movement. I don't really have tac sprint, so you can't really see it, but this is better than most of other guns, except for the NPC. And it shoots really fast because if you do miss a shot or two, it won't be that bad in terms of hurting the TTK because it shoots really fast. And that's why it's beneficial on mouse and keyboard. And up next, we got the AK-27, 47, Kastov, 545, Kastov, 762, you know, whatever. And this is the build right here. You can customize this if you want. Now I have this build specifically, and this build has no recoil. Now you can add the LTI muzzle brake for even better horizontal recoil control, and this doesn't budge at all. And it also decreases the TTK, making it even faster. However, the damage range is pretty shit on the AK, so I highly recommend you guys use the monolithic, and you get better bullet velocity. In terms of the optic, you can go for the Fang hollow point, but I prefer using the Redwell 2x, or you can use the IQ Spot 3x, which is also a very good option. And this is a build right here. This is one of the best ARs in the game right now, and it's also great for mouse and keyboard. Up next, we got the MK35, and the MK got buffed recently, so it's back in its prime, because when this gun got nerfed, it went from 35 damage to 32 damage, and now they buffed it back up to 35. So now we got this gun back again, and this is my OG loadout. It's what I used to use, and this shit does not move. I mean, it does, but you got like, it's so easy to control it. It's so easy. You could add like an optic or something, the 2x or the 3x even. I don't even have the 3x unlocked because I need to get the Maverick to level 32 or whatever. So even with the 2x, this shit still doesn't have any recoil. I might actually just keep it with the 2x. I like the 2x. The 2x does feel really nice. Now you could add a monolithic as well, or the new LTI, which I haven't tried out yet. It does increase it by 3% though, which is pretty good. But I use the RL556 brake, but you could also use the monolithic suppressor. And this gun will probably be the best AR for mouse and keyboard, apart from one gun that I will be showing after. Up next, we got the Ryden, and this gun slaps. Like, right now, this is probably one of my favorite SMGs after the VST, because you can make it into a hip fire build, and it's really good. You may not like the iron sights, however, the iron sights are fine, guys. Like, you can see the full body right there, and it has less recoil. It has literal minimum recoil, well, apart from the horizontal. However, hip firing, oopsie daisies, hip firing is light work, and I do recommend you guys to hit fire from 10 meters or 15, but other than that, over 15 meters mark, I would highly recommend you not to hit fire and just ADS and shoot. So this is my personal hip fire build. It's really nice to use, and it's amazing, and it runs pretty fast as well, and it has amazing TTK. Now, fortunately, you can't really put the LTI because if you look there, the hip fire max spread gets demolished. And there is another hip fire build I will be showing you, which has 1.45. So up next, we got the DS20 Mirage, and this gun, it slaps in terms of TTK. However, recoil can be a problem. So you can control that really easily, just like that. It goes like top left. However, with this gun, it bobs around too much. It has a lot of recoil. The rate of fire is kind of slow. After getting a kill, reset the recoil, so then after you get less recoil. There's a thing called recoil recovery, so if I just keep shooting, it gets much harder and harder to control the gun. However, if I just shoot like this, wait for the recoil recovery, wait, Just wait for the recoil recovery. See, I'm hitting all the shots. So just wait for the recoil recovery. So that's after when you shoot a couple bullets. You gotta wait at least 2 seconds. It all depends on the guns. Like, if you look on the AK here, kick reset speed is 600 milliseconds on the AK. So if you wait 6 seconds, the recoil will reset. And then we got the carbon. Now the carbon should be on top of this list. However, this carbon is it's a hit or miss with keyboard and mouse, to be honest. Sometimes I can't see shit when I'm shooting with this gun because iron sight is buns, unless you got the pay to win skin. However, with the TTK, it's amazing. That shit kills so fast. That's why it's one of the best SMGs. Yeah, but the only thing that's holding it back is the iron sight, and it feels a bit stiff, which is not really good for mouse and keyboard. You may be wondering why I have the fire mod, and that decreases the range, obviously. However, if you do have the prestige magazine, that increases the range. So 13 meters for an SMG is really good. And I also have the rate of fire, or the LTI, because it does increase it by 3%. So this is the build right here. Make sure you guys use that. Test it to your likings, and you can obviously change some settings. Maybe you don't like this mod, so you add like a stock for better ADS walking movement speed, or just better recoil in general. But this gun with the fire rates mod and shit like that, it slaps. Even like 25 meters, it slaps. Let's see 50. Bit on the recoil side, however, you can make it work. And this is a juicy one, the PK. Now this gun reminds me of the M13 back in MW19, or just Warzone, in the OG Warzone in general. And this gun literally slaps. Like, I used it in ranked and high crib and Iri lobbies, and this gun literally has no recoil. TTK can be off for longer range, however it is a PK, it's more of a hybrid SMG. So 50 meters slaps, 25 slap, 10 meters slap. Every time I pick this gun up, I'm like, wow, it always surprised me. Rate of fire, recoil, and a TTK. Okay, what? You saw my bullets hit there, and it didn't register. Look, what the hell? What? Hello, game? I'm getting nerfed in the firing range. This gun slaps. It has a high rate of fire, so if you do miss a shot or two, TTK won't be affected as much as the Rampart or the MX-17 or the DS-20 Mirage. So yeah, this is one of my favorite guns, and it has that clean reload animation. I would probably put it in second, just it's so fun to use. However, the MK did get buffed, and DS-20 Mirage just has a good TTK. So now up next, we got the Dravec. And the Dravec, because it's been the Dravec since it got buffed. The only change I've made was the stock for better recoil, and I have the rate of fire attachments, both of them on, and this makes it have a really good TTK. It's not as competitive as the carbon, however, actually it kind of is. Never mind. After looking at that, yeah. The really good thing about this gun is that it has a very good damage per mag, so you can kill 2 people, and I still have 23 bullets left on the mag, or in the mag, sorry. And another benefit of using this gun is that the damage range is really good. As you guys can see, damage range slaps. Still on 34 rounds, still on 27, so I can kill this guy probably about 6 times, and then I need to reload, which is a benefit. The damage per mag is really good on this gun. Now up next, we got the MX-17 or the Rampart. Now on mouse and keyboard, I don't recommend using the iron sight because it's so like random, as you guys can see. But the recoil is there. The Rampart has just been a decent weapon overall. However, this gun shoots so fucking slow. I love this gun and I fucking hate it. You could remove the stock and add the fang, and that makes it pretty clean. I kind of despise this gun, but I do like using it when I do hit my shots. I've seen people rocking the 3x, which I don't have a lot, so we just use a 2x. Yeah, and that's not bad. It's a bit bouncy. I don't like it. I prefer the fang. But yeah, this is the build right here. You could customize it to your likings, but for mouse and keyboard, I highly recommend you guys put an optic, unless you're really used to the iron sight. And lastly, we got the Kogot. Now, this is my OG hipfire build, and this is the hipfire build with 1.45 hipfire max spread. And this gun, after the nerf, it still slaps. Like, I don't know why nobody really uses this gun anymore. Like, look at that. The only problem with this gun is the ADS. Like, there's so much recoil that you have to control. But in terms of hipfire, it beams. And by the way, with hip firing, you can play at the same time with quick fix, and you can stim up at the same time while shooting at the enemy very accurately. And that's also beneficial, which will make you very hard to kill, especially if you have tempered or quick fix. Now this is a build right here, and the Kogot absolutely slaps. It did get nerfed, so the damage used to be 33 and now it's 31, but it's not a massive difference. If you make it into a hip fire build and perhaps put quick fix, this is with the Ryden as well, because that's hip fire as well. You can put tempered and quick fix and you will become unkillable, because if you know how to run away and plate up at the same time, and then you can literally shoot your weapon, stim up the same time, or plate up at the same time with tempered on, so you only have to put 2 plates, and this will make you super hard to kill. You just have to watch on your health and the timing for the stims. I know I haven't included the AN94. I'm guessing that's a good gun. However, I did see it's like top 6, which is kind of interesting, because game like Call of Duty, especially when new guns are OP, and the AN94 is an icon in Black Ops 2. Now I don't have it unlocked because I don't really play a lot. Now I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a like. Let me know what other guns that are interesting for mouse and keyboard, and I'll see you guys in the next one.